So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and continue where we left off in the initial video that I recorded a few days ago. If you want to see that, link will be down below, where we talk about the first 20 stages of the Rising Battle Vegito event. By now, hopefully you have completed farming your Vegito up to at least 2 stars via the first 20 or so stages. Also, you have completed farming souls and super souls and hopefully soul boosting the character as well. If you have not done that stuff, I do highly advise it if you don't have at least the purple summonable Vegito. So let's go ahead and talk about the event. Little minor rant from me. I kind of wish they would stop doing this. So the Fury Broly event is a good example. There are others like needing Broly for like the Broly missions, whatever the case is, right? The fact that as the event goes on, the new character in this scenario, it was Gogeta, being type effective versus the boss, also being a bonus character, right? Also in the Broly event that was just here, the green Broly event, you know, Goten was almost required for the final stage, unless you were able to kind of just force your way through it or try multiple times or use like mono purple and still try multiple times. It was actually kind of difficult. So they kind of do the same thing here with one of the stages as well. Now, I do want to point out that as we get any sort of level cap raises, the best thing about level cap raises is older content becomes a lot easier. So, for example, the mono blue type team should be able to beat that final level 100 stage of the Broly event. Whether they need to be level 3,000 and 598% at the moment, that's not really relevant. But again, this event kind of does something similar. So we have a Vegito specific stage, and wouldn't you know it, Purple Vegito is the best character you can possibly use on this phase. In fact, if you have Purple Vegito, you can make a team with him and Red Vegito and actually take both into the fight. You can only take Vegitos in. So that's kind of annoying because, again, if you don't have Purple Vegito, there's no other Vegito in the game. You have to use only one character, which if you were able to bring more than one character, this fight wouldn't be nearly as annoying as it is. So for me personally, I've been trying to, in order to get it out for the guide, do it with only Red Vegito, right? Because I know I can bring my Purple Vegito and obviously beat it. Again, especially if they're both level 3,000 and soul boosted, yada yada. But we'll get back to that in a moment. I really wish they would stop doing that. But again, in the future, long story short, if you do struggle with this event, the second iteration of it probably, or post another level raise or whatever the case is. Maybe you pull Vegito Purple later on. Who knows? Or any other Vegito card that potentially comes out, right? You will have an easier time with this later on. But the thing about this event is you really want to be able to proceed because you'll be able to ultimately get a 7-star free Vegito. Right now, you cap out at 4-star, right? 4-star is the absolute maximum right now. Eventually, 7-star will be acquirable. And 7-star, again, if you pull Purple Vegito, even if you don't, that Z ability is absolutely nuts. One of the best in the game. So you definitely want to 7-star this character ultimately in the future. So again, it caps out at 40 battles. Probably will get to about 100 like Rising Battle Broly does as well. So let's go ahead and talk about the new stages. So previously we ended on Battle 20, in which you're forced to take, again, just a Vegito versus a green Vegito as well. So for this stage, level 3,000 Red Vegito makes short work of this. Like, you don't really need to struggle with that. It's pretty easy if you've soul boosted him and stuff like that. Now, we get into Battle 25. Now, in this stage, it's another limited EX stage. So, EXs are very good in this game. I still encounter people that say they think EXs are trash or whatever. You're entitled to an opinion, but, like, when EXs have the stats of Sparkings and better kits than Sparkings or whatever, I just don't know, man. So, here we go. Well, at least some of them, not all of them. Especially, like, old ones that need a buff, like that Nappa on my team. So speaking of the Nappa, if you didn't see the previous video, one of the things that I did point out was Nappa characters, whether it's this one or the hero yellow one, are very good. You do not use them, but you use them on the team. So 18% to bonus damage versus yellow characters. 18% more damage inflicted versus yellow characters. Another little tidbit, if you don't know by now, there's new players every day, so I don't blame anyone. Z ability. So every character has a Z ability. Long story short, a lot of them buff themselves. Most of them buff themselves and other characters, of course. And if you move on from there, you build a team centered around either a color or a tag or whatever the case is. And the 3 characters you do not take into battle, in this case it would be all 3 of these characters for this deck, still apply their buffs even to the characters that are in the battle, right? So all this other stuff is relevant. So you don't want to make sure that your whole team is filled with good stuff, right? So in this scenario, we take the top 3. I also want to point out you don't need my exact setup. This team makes light work of this event because of the limit breaks that I have and stuff like that. But you can obviously come through with any red team, especially if they're soul boosted to 3,000. Whatever the case is, you will be fine, right? I've used different variations. I've even used the red TN and the EX Whis on the page here with their current status, and everything works fine as well. Again, I can't change the fact that I have what I have, but trust me, you should be fine. So let's go ahead and actually run through this, and we'll also kind of just, again, make it a point to kind of show how this one is handled. So for this setup, you just come in with the front 3. Krillin is particularly really good, but I don't think you really need his defensive viability or anything like that. Caulifla and Vegeta, honestly, and Krillin too, for the matter, but Caulifla really is a very damaging unit with blast cards and stuff. She's going to be able to really handle this, so it really doesn't matter a whole lot. And by the way, you don't have to come in with like a red team, right? You can come with whatever EX type setup you want, right? Whatever you have leveled, that's fine. Just make sure that, you know, they're leveled or, you know, soul boosted and leveled, some combination, whatever it is. By the way, on a side note, the AI in this new Battle Version 2 update, the computer has gotten very smart. Like, you just saw them actually key cancel into a stand-up, which is good because that allows for them to wait for you to sidestep, which they do sometimes, or it allows for them to now immediately turn into another card, right? Like, the AI has gotten really smart, and they'll start throwing Rising Rushes. They always threw Rising Rushes, but they'll throw them, be less easy to predict with them, and just stuff like that, man. So you got to really be careful now, where you didn't have to really prior. Oh, crap. I meant to use Blast first. Hopefully it works. And it didn't work. Okay. At least I got priority. All right, so that's about it. I'll just throw the rush here. Yeah. So there we go. And we'll make sure we get our blast cards because Caulifla, again, she just handles this very easily. You really don't really need much else, to be honest. You can come in with one level 3,000 Caulifla or a red character, and you should be fine. You don't need specifically Caulifla. But I will say Caulifla, again, one of the newer EXs. Newer EXs are obviously the ones that are mainly good. Older ones that are in need of buffs, not so much. Older ones that, like Krillin, do have buffs, though, are pretty good, too. Anyways, so that one, pretty easy, pretty light work of that stage. We move on to this one. Now, this one here, all but requires a perfect run. So we're going to actually go back to this deck. Now, this deck, again, the reason that I ran this deck the way I did was a couple of things. So, actually, I'm going to actually do this just for more defensive viability, so we take a little less damage. So, Vegito. So, Vegito doesn't have any sort of offensive preference. He's good with strike cards, blast cards, whatever the case is. So, I did give him a blend of that type of stuff. Also, for Vegito, he does buff his own blast defense. Goku is buffing double attacks, which is one of the best types of Z abilities in the game, in my opinion. Roto was buffing strike attack and strike defense. And then we also went with double HP. So Shallot was boosting HP, same as Raditz, and then Krillin is double defense. So we have a very good blend of Z abilities there. And I didn't show the equips for the other team because it really doesn't matter. But for this setup, for this guy, you can run stuff like this. And then other than that, only other change I would make really is something like this. So you have a little bit more HP technically, right? So we'll actually do that. We should have over 1.6 million with this setup, in fact. So let's go ahead and go in with this. All right, so we are up against Vegito now. We do get a perfect vanish, so we get that priority. All right, let me throw the Big Bang Kamehameha. I want to get that green off before he tries to destroy it with the Big Bang Kamehameha himself. All right. And he's critting there, unfortunately. With this setup, you just want to try to beat his first life as quickly as possible. Okay, at least I got that Dragon Ball before he actually gets his main ability to heal, because he will get that, of course. Taps. All right. Can you stop throwing the Big Bang Kamehamehas? And there goes the heal. Yeah, see, with this setup, you almost need a perfect run, in fact. All right, we go Blast. Oh, I'm critting on my blast cards. Okay, cool. All right. At least it sounded like it. I don't think that actually beats this first life. Oh, it does. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you basically need a perfect run, to be honest. Yeah, I was critting. I figured. That was dumb. We were too close in proximity. Now, you have to be aware of his rush, because he will actually throw a rush at you. You have to be 100% aware that he has a rush, too. And his rush will one-shot you. It will cost you the match if he hits you with a rush. Keep that in mind. Okay, so our card draw speed did go up, all that stuff. Oh, okay. Thanks, game. I sidestepped, but okay, thanks. Don't destroy my strike cards. All right. Also, I don't even bother going for bait because you almost can't bait the computer at all because you can't really strike cancel anymore. You almost can't do anything. That would be compromising to the computer. And then they also read inputs. If you go for like a tackle, for example, they will know to go for a backdash. Like watch this. Or a vanish. Backdash or vanish. Each time. He's going to rush me. No, okay, thank you. Interesting. Oh, okay, we win. Okay, cool. He didn't throw his rush there. The rush, again, can basically make you lose. It will one-shot you. It may take you multiple tries, but you can do it. You can definitely do it. So just keep that in mind. And you also can get bonuses, I guess, rewards for it. Yeah, did I get? Oh, okay, well, that time I completed it. See, yeah, you just need basically a perfect run. It took me maybe 5 tries to get all of those complete with this setup. So you gotta just be aware of that. So that was 30, right? Yeah, so we're gonna go to 35 and kind of explain what I did here. This one has no sort of color no sort of deploy conditions or anything like that. Personally, I just went in with mono blue. That was comprised of these units. So for my blue team, what I did was I used these. And again, it just depends what you have, right? I just want to point that out. I'm going to keep pointing it out because not everybody has everything. So what I used was I used those top 3, and I used some bench units like Deborah. I used 18. This was actually my exact setup, right? Krillin is good for the switch buff. If you have a Goku, the Gohan and Krillin are very good as well. This is a very potent, actually, trio. Gohan gets a strike damage bonus. Krillin actually heals more, stuff like that. So you can do something like this, and you'd be well off as well. Or if not, you can kind of sub in and out specific units. It doesn't really matter in particular. Same setup as earlier. Just make sure that your characters are, in fact, leveled. That's all that matters. Make sure they're leveled, and you shouldn't have any sort of difficulty. So Battle 40, again, no deploy conditions. Mono yellow is your team, and this is the setup I used. Frieza was the MVP for this one because of anti-Saiyan and stuff like that. So we'll run through this one kind of quickly, if possible, that is. So same setup as the previous one, just mono color, makes it very easy. My top 3 is fully soul boosted, I believe. I also do have this Nappa who has the Z ability for bonus purple damage. I mentioned the other one, same thing here. You just kind of come through. So you're 200 levels lower than the enemy. It doesn't really matter a whole lot though, because again, you have 3 characters in this fight. If you were able to use more than 1 character versus that Vegito fight, assuming that you don't have purple Vegito, it wouldn't be anywhere near as difficult. All right, perfect vanish into strikes, and Frieza's doing some very, very good damage, as you see. All right, so, oh, I said dash forward, but okay, thanks, game. I really appreciate it. Strike card? No, okay. I'm gonna bring the Vegeta in right here, okay? We'll actually go for a couple of buffs for Vegeta as well. You can't chain anything but a special move into that. Unfortunately, I didn't have one, so it's not a big deal. Okay, cool. All right, gonna do some good strike damage here. I'm actually gonna just chain these in. Not even gonna bother trying to sidestep. I want to get as much damage as possible. Sidestep is nerfed now to where you do less damage, but there is a reason to still do it because of the timer count thing that it does. It reduces the timer count. It helps you just eat timer clock. All right, I'm definitely not gonna rush from this range. Definitely not rushing with him having no HP, man. I'll just kind of keep trying to eat timer clock. He keeps falling for the same thing. Oh my goodness! The fun had to end. There it is. The computer also, I mentioned how they've gotten smarter. They are now a lot more prone to sidestep stuff. I've noticed that too. See, look at this. What the heck? But tap attacks do no damage now. It's so stupid. That's funny. I've never got that many dashes in. But tap attacks do almost no damage now. This is baited. Or that was, I thought it was going to get vanished. Okay, let's see what this does. It's doing no damage. Frieza would have been the best candidate with strike cards, but it's fine. And about half damage. That's good enough for now. Okay, well, Piccolo is going to come in and... Oh, okay. That was an interesting strike cancel, but okay. Yeah, and Piccolo has a heal just in case you need it. So, yeah, Piccolo's pretty good. He's another EX character that's good, also because he got a buff recently, or semi-recently, I guess, a few months ago. We'll go for that. I do have Frieza's ultimate. I can get out of that, yeah. There it is. And I win. All right, so yeah, that's basically the premise of it. Frieza's really good. You do not need Frieza, but Frieza will make your run a lot easier as far as, again, the bonus damage. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.